So welcome to those who have joined us and those who are still entering the room. I'll make sure we let everyone in as you arrive. My name's Julie. I'm here to be your moderator today for our session with Lynn Nicholls. And before we begin the formal program, I'd like to acknowledge the land where we're gathering today, which is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe people, many of whom continue to live and work here. This territory, where we are in Niagara, is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties and is within the land protected by the Ditch with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people, and acknowledging this reminds us that our great standard of living is directly related to the friendship and resources of Indigenous people. And about the YWCA, which is the organization hosting the summit, the YW is a local organization that stands for gender equity and gives a voice to those who are marginalized in our community. The YW offers emergency shelter and 3 stages of transitional housing to homeless women, men, and families to help clients step by step break the cycle of homelessness and poverty for good. A few housekeeping items I'd like to draw your attention to is our community guidelines. We want to ensure that this space is open and safe for all participants. So please take a look at our community guidelines on the EventMobi platform if you haven't already done so. We're all responsible for making sure that these spaces are inclusive and welcoming environments for everyone, and I appreciate your support with that. If you have any questions for our speaker during the seminar, please feel free to post them in the Q&A tab or send them on chat, and I will help Lynn make sure she receives your questions as we get to the Q&A session. And now to introduce our speaker, Lynn Nicholls. She's been helping people find happiness and showing people that there's hope in the most rewarding part is the most rewarding part of her job. Lynn is an intuition expert and psychic medium with clients worldwide. She's the host of Lynntuition podcast, which allows her to give listeners intuition elevation activities that they can weave into their days. Lynn also presents intuition training workshops to large groups and corporate staff training. She's done TV and radio appearances, as well as guest podcasts, and has become a regular occurrence for her. Lynn gives accurate and helpful insights to clients, but her specialty is showing them how to access and elevate their own tuition to enhance their lives. I know I'm really looking forward to some takeaways in this discussion today. So now I will turn it over to Lynn for the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I don't know if anybody's still in the waiting room. If they are, we will let them shuffle on in. And you are, like Julie said, you're more than welcome to keep your camera off. It is so nice to see people. So please don't worry if you look like a bum today, or if you're sitting in your bedroom or whatever. It is nice to see faces. But again, we're totally cool with whatever you are comfortable with. And it's nice to see some familiar names in here and some new people. So I am based out of Niagara Falls. And if I look like I'm not looking at you, I'm probably not, because the way if I look right here, then I'm looking right at you. But I'd like to look at the screen. So anyhow, we have an hour. And I could talk for like 7 hours. So those of you who know me know it's hard to get me to stop talking when I've got people rolling and when you're finding your groove. So very, very quickly, I just want to tell you a quick bit about my background and how I came to be a psychic medium first and now an intuition expert. So when I was about 12, when I realized I could see, hear, feel things. So on top of hormones and puberty, I had ghosts. So not an easy time. And at that time, I saw a little spirit boy walk up to my bed, and he just said, "Hey, I know you've got a gift. Can you help my family cross over?" And at 12, and if you're my age, that was the Exorcist generation. So it's like, holy, SHIT. So I helped them all cross over. And after that, I really started knowing and seeing and feeling many more things. I don't with ghosts anymore. I don't like hauntings. I don't watch scary movies. I'm a grown-up woman that still sleeps with the light on. So the difference between spirits and ghosts is spirits have crossed over and they can come back and connect with us. Ghosts are stuck. So they have not crossed over. They're stuck repeating, doing that kind of thing. So why you're here is to talk about your intuition, not my intuition. So it's when you know something, but you don't know how you know something, you just know that's something. Have you ever experienced that? Like, I just knew that was going to happen. Yep. Lots of hand raises, lots of shakes, thumbs up. Yep. There is, if you're not familiar with Zoom yet, the reactions button at the bottom, you can give a hand wave or a thumbs up. So you've probably done it before. You've probably met someone and immediately not liked them or really liked them. That feeling too. You walk into a room, totally different energy. So you already have it. It's just been either nurtured out of you or you can't connect to it anymore. So cats and dogs are welcome, by the way. So if they're wanting to cuddle up on your lap, you're more than welcome. So we're not going to talk about being psychic. We're going to talk about being intuitive. Your brain is an incredible prediction making machine. It takes in all the sensory input you're absorbing and compares it to all of your knowledge and all of your past experiences. And it arrives at conclusions at super speed. And that's harnessing your intuition, your ideas, your inspiration, your instincts. They're all coming from that same room in your brain. A lot of people ask, okay, so what's the difference between an intuitive thought and my imagination or an anxious thought? And the key, intuition is very subtle and so fleeting you might miss it. So it comes in very quickly. And the key is there is absolutely no emotion attached to it. Intuitive thoughts just want to say, hey, this is going to happen, or hey, this is happening, and then they disappear. So the trick is to be able to stop and notice it. So this makes you a happier person because it puts you more on the right path. It can help you find your purpose. It can help you make better decisions because, and I know we have a gentleman in the group, so I was going to say, so ladies, you know, but everybody, you know, how many times, especially as women, we are kind of trained to be nice. Oh, you know what? Just be nice. Don't think like that. Just be nice. No. I want to encourage you to trust your gut. And we'll literally talk about the gut later. So right now, say your name in your mind. Could you do that? Could you hear your name in your mind? Yes? Okay, good. Got some head nods. So do you hear how quickly, how subtly, and how unemotionally that came in? That's how intuition sounds. So we're going to do a few little activities. I do not like to sit and blabber at people. I want to get you involved and I want you to tap into your intuition. So they're going to be very similar to that. The key to getting reliable information is for you to be unemotional. And anybody watch Star Trek? No? Yeah. No emotion. Okay. So emotional about the outcome. Even if it's like, I really, really want this job. You can't really, really want this job when you want to get an intuitive thought about it. Or I really, really like this guy. You can't go there because you won't get honest information. So you have to stay calm and you have to stay relatively focused. And how you do that depends entirely on you. If you like to meditate, go right ahead. I am not good at that. I like to go for walks, and be present, look at the trees, smell the flowers, kind of stop and smell the roses type of thing. If you like to garden, if you like to drive, whatever calms you down is the best thing to do. Anybody ever drive from A to B, but you don't know how you got from A to B? You ever do that? Yeah. I love driving for that kind of thing. So a lot of times if I'm really struggling to just figure something out, I'll go for a drive. And I'm in Niagara Falls. So I go down the Niagara Parkway and it's beautiful and it takes your mind away. And then I throw my brain the question that I need an answer to. So if you ever have a moment, look into neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, anchoring techniques. If we have time at the end, I'll explain it to you. But it's the best way. It's what I use now. So when I do readings, I do, several a day. So I don't sit and meditate before each one. I have this anchoring technique that, boom, shifts my mind into calm and neutral. So, which is funny because I'm a very emotional person. Has anybody heard of clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance? Yep, lots of yeses. So I call them the clairs. So thank you for your hands and your thumbs. So clairvoyance is clear seeing, clairaudience is clear hearing, claircognizance is clear knowing, clairsentience is clear feeling, but you can look them all up. Sometimes clairalience comes in. If you've ever smelled your mom's perfume, but your mom's been passed away for 10 years, or you smell cigarette smoke, but nobody is smoking, maybe somebody's trying to get a hold of you. And at that moment, I just taught a mediumship workshop last night, and I was just telling them, if that ever happens, or you find a dime in a really weird spot, or a feather, stop and say, whoever's with me, let me know, and make it really obvious. Because a lot of times we miss that kind of stuff because we're busy. So I always want it to be made really obvious. So we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to do our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And we're going to try and use our clairvoyance. You can use your clairaudience too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say some letters of the alphabet, and I would like you to picture them in your mind. If you need to close your eyes, go right ahead. If you need to stare at a blank wall, go ahead. The goal is to be able to do all these things with your eyes open and going about the day. So this isn't anything particularly intuitive, but it trains your brain. So ready? Picture these letters. If I go too fast or slow, I apologize. Ready? A, B, K, G, Y, J. Okay, good, good. Did anybody want to go to C after I did A, B? Some people probably did, right? It's right, because it's our analytical, conscious brain predicting what comes next. So we have to learn to kind of float. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the alphabet again, but I'm going to leave out, in order this time, I'm going to leave out every other letter. And I'll say one letter, you say the next one in your head. I'll say one, you say the next one. If you can picture it at the same time, you get bonus points, gold star on your NLSW card. That's not a thing, I don't think. But anyways. Okay, ready? A, C, E, G, I, K. Good job. You did it. So maybe too fast or slow, so practice it another time. Now let's get a little more abstract. Picture the colors of the water in the Caribbean. How's everybody feel when you do that? So good, especially today if you're in Niagara, a little dreary. Picture someone's eye color. Someone's eye color, someone's eyes. And take a mental note as to who you chose to look at, because that might be a little telling too. The color of the walls in your living room. Good. Now I'd like you to picture a TV screen or a computer monitor, a tablet. Picture a screen. It's black, it's blank, there's nothing on it. I'll give you a couple seconds to get that in, because sometimes that's a little tricky. If you ever have trouble picturing things, if you have trouble with clairvoyance, literally take something like a pen, examine it as long as you need to, close your eyes, picture it in your mind. If you miss something, go back. Or in the middle of the day at break time, look at your mug. Sounds silly, but it increases your ability to picture things when it comes to being intuitive. So you take the concrete object, just sit here, take the glasses, one of the 7 pairs of glasses you have floating around your house, if you're my age, and look at it, examine it, close your eyes, and picture it. And the better you get at that, the better and more clearly images will come into your mind when you have to make a decision. So back to the TV screen right in front of you. In your mind, turn the TV screen on to one of those fuzzy white noise screens and hear the sound. It makes that shh sound. So that snow, we don't get that a lot these days, but just imagine that. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, I'm going to give you an instruction. Don't expect anything. Don't think of anything. Don't ask any questions of yourself. Don't judge or second guess what you get. Just allow it to come in. So we're going to try and access that subconscious part of your brain. You can try this later because it might take a little longer to calm your brain now. Okay, TV's on. Screen is fuzzy. At 1, listen, and I'm going to say it very quickly. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The screen clears very quickly and shows you a picture of something that will happen tomorrow. So some of you probably got nothing, and some of you probably got something, and some of you probably thought, what the hell was that? Like, I don't get it. So that one, because it's so much less concrete than doing the alphabet per se, the open-ended things will be tougher. Please, please, please do not ever get frustrated if you can't get something, because that will, of course, put a block on it. I'm not talking a woo-woo block. I'm just talking, if you get frustrated, it's harder to do these things. And maybe clairvoyance isn't your thing. Maybe you're better in a radio and then turning the knob and listening for something to come in. I'm better at that. I'm better at hearing things. I'm also the person that's always yelling, turn the TV down, because my ears are very sensitive. Does anybody here have tinnitus? Anybody? Your ears ring? Oh, more people than I thought. Isn't that like the most annoying thing? Because all day long you have this buzzing in your ears, and you can use your tinnitus to your benefit. So just like that fuzzy noise, find a quiet room, because that's when the tinnitus is the loudest. Let it buzz, and then say, send me a word, and see what comes in. You can practice any of these things. Like I said, I love driving. So if you want to practice, next time you're driving, if any of us ever leave the house, or maybe if you're out for a walk, say, okay, brain or mind or universe or whatever you want to do, show me something unusual. What am I going to see in the next 5 kilometers? What am I going to see in the next 10 minutes of driving? Or you could be in the shower, because the shower, you just get, it's so monotonous. We're so used to doing it. You could just say, okay, how am I going to deal with ABC? And see whatever comes in. So as the water is going over you, just imagine all the answers coming in. And you can do the same thing. Count from 3, 2, 1, boom. See what comes up. Driving's, I love that, because you could say, you could get, oh, you'll see a red bucket. And sure enough, you drive by KFC or something. So just keep it in mind. Practice when you're out. When you are standing in line at the grocery store, the person in front of you, try to, and you can't see their face, but try to get a feel for how they're feeling. And I know that Please do not rub up against anybody. I think that would be, well, you might have to deal with the cops after that. But just simply say to yourself, how is this person feeling? And see what gets sent your way. It's always very interesting. And you are not ever going to attract anything negative if you're a good person. If you're a good person, you get good things back. I mean, if you're a jerk one day, it doesn't count. If you're Adolf Hitler, you're getting bad karma. So if you are concerned about attracting any bad energies or curses or spells, which I actually don't believe exists, curses or spells, please Google white light of protection, psychic protection, energy protection, those kinds of things. So the trick is to enhance all of these things without actually taking a class, without actually spending hours meditating, without actually sitting in front of a computer screen for hours and hours and hours learning things. Do it, weave it into your daily life. So when you're driving, back to driving, or when you're at the grocery store and you're passing by people, or you stopped at a traffic light and people are passing by in front of you, quickly look at them and go, okay, happy, sad, divorced, just got laid, buying blue cheese, like whatever it is. So whatever comes to your mind, you will never know if you're right or wrong, but it trains your brain to make intuitive decisions quickly. And with the whirlwind of information that's being thrown at us, especially now, we need to do what's right for us. So what's right for you might not be right for anybody else, but you make the best decisions you can. All of those strategies are using your mind. And they literally call it gut instinct because your belly has if not just as many, if not more neurons than your brain. And it will pick up more information and first before your brain does. They've done a ton of research on this. It's connected to the vagal nerve. Your whole system takes in information. Have you ever been so nervous your belly gets upset, or you've got to pee all the time? See, so your mind and body are, yay for peeing all the time. So it's the way it works. We get a literal gut instinct. So we're going to try something. Let's see. We're going to figure out if somebody is good or bad for us. A decision. We need to make a decision. It could be the silliest thing. I need to make a decision if I'm having chicken or pizza for lunch. Or it can be, I need to make a decision if I should buy this house or that house, or if I should take this job or that. So these are yes, no, or choice questions. And you can use this anytime you have a choice to make. And through practice, you will be able to learn to do this very quickly. So once you get used to figuring out these subtle signals, you'll never unlearn them. You'll always have them. And just know that they're very, very subtle, and to trust your body, trust your intuition, trust yourself. So if you don't feel them at all with the activity we're going to do right now, when you do it later, pick a stronger trigger. But right now, what I would like you to do is pick a food you can't stand. Just think of it. Don't feel it. Just think about it. Something you would never eat. For me, that would be oysters. So right now, picture eating it and see how your body feels. Yeah, some people's faces went like this. Yeah, because that's immediate. So go into your body before the message gets to your face. And I'm going to gross you out very quickly for a second because I wanted to pick a strong trigger. Feel how your body feels below the neck when you think about, eating vomit. Did you feel good? Or did you feel like, did your body feel like crap? Yeah, nobody felt good. So your body just feels, did anybody's stomach clench? If you got any feelings in your body, type them in the chat. if you maybe got a tingle in your knee, if you got, a tight hip, you can totally write it in the chat. I'm always curious how people figure that out. So stomach literally turned, throat closed up. Okay, good one. Stomach dropped. Yeah, so it's all right there. Stomach dropped, stomach clenched. Very good. You can use that with anything. Oh, your body shivered, had a flipping feeling in my stomach like a roller coaster. Very good. So lots of gag reflex. Yeah. Abdomen contracted. So it's interesting how everybody is having very similar reactions to that. So practice it again on your own. You can do the vomit thing or think of eating like cat poop or something awful and see just how your body reacts. Don't ever eat it to try it out for sure, but start with the most disgusting thing and then go to the easier things, the things you really don't want to eat, like celery, and see if you can catch that subtle whisper that your body sends you. Now, we're going to flip it around. So, think about okay, there's no calories here. There's no calories on Zoom. Think about something you really enjoy eating. Picture it and see how your body feels from the neck down. And then in the chat, put what food you picked and let us know how you felt. I'm willing to bet nobody's stomach went, no, don't give me that cheesecake. I'm willing to bet. So, or butter tarts, oh my gosh, that's the best. So feels good. Nacho chips, felt warm. Okay, I like warm. Cannoli, oh. You know what, Julie, my mouth started watering too as soon as I saw that. I must need dinner. It's the Italian background in me. So notice the ice cream. Oh, a giddy feeling. I like that. Mom's chocolate cake, butterflies, cheesecake, warm and relaxed. Very good. Any more out there? You're all picking my favorite foods. And I'm gonna go home, or I'm gonna go upstairs and eat a bunch of food later. Okay, very nice. So did you notice how different your body felt between one extreme and the other? And that's how you feel before it gets to your mind. That's how you can feel with people, situations. Trust your body. Trust the subtle signs. So practice the food thing at home. You can even do this with people. Here, let me see. So picture someone you cannot stand or is giving you a hard time. So we're not talking about food here. Just, it could be a person that's real or fictional. So picture them, and please don't name them in the chat because they might be here. But how does your body feel? Where do you feel it, and what happens in your body? So let me see the people things. Tension, okay. Tension, chest, shoulders, jaw, tense up. Immediately guarded. Okay, Elizabeth, yeah. Okay, tight chest, headache. Interesting. Oh, stumbling on words. Yep, can't find words to bring to mind. Tightness in shoulders. Very good. Oh, you guys are good at this. So mouth and jaw hurting. Okay. Very good. So isn't it interesting? We've changed it from food to a person, and the sensation changed its location. Like it's sort of a tugging feeling, Kelsey says, and she's trying to get away. So your body's saying, start the car. I'm running out of IKEA. Clenched stomach, tightness in body. Yeah. So those aren't good feelings. Now, let's do the same thing we did with the food. Think of someone you love or who makes you laugh. Again, they could be real or fictional. So think of this person, feel their energy, see what they're like. How does your body feel now? If you want to name that person, you can. Okay, we're going back to warm. I love it. Going back to warm. Your son, nice. Feel warm and lit up. Wait till he's a teenager. Warm, smile, immediately comes to your face. Yeah, warm and tingly. Your husband, love, happy, calm. Oh, warm, happy, calm, nice, nice. Butterflies. I love it. I love it. So there's a distinct difference. They feel light. Your shoulders go down. I'm suffering from a tingling shoulder that's throwing me off. Oh, that's tough, Bernie. Yeah. So that reminds me, I'll talk about that in 2 seconds. Okay, your son full of warmth. I notice nobody's saying my daughter and full of warmth. And I know why that is, because I also have a daughter. So almost like a blanket. Very nice. Okay, I like what Bernie brought up. From a tingling shoulder that's throwing him off. And that's tough when you're in pain. And I get it. I honestly get it because I maybe too much information, but I have 3 rods and 9 screws holding my back together because I broke it in a car accident. So I get the tingling, I get the pain. Some days it's hard to walk. So I know what you're feeling. And I'm not saying, oh, forget about it, because I totally empathize with you. So what you do, if you're having something you cannot get over, acknowledge the shoulder, the tingling, the sore knee, acknowledge that. But it has to just, you either mentally jump over it, picture it, and jump over it, or mentally bring it down. Easier said than done, I know. So I know because I sit and do readings, and sitting's even hard for me. So I do have to shift a lot, but it's like, you're not important right now, pain. Get out of my back, get out of my shoulder. I need to think about this. So your soreness, your pain, your bad day, your crappy employee, they might be messing with how you're perceiving information. So we go back to, you have to detach from anything that's bugging you. Pain, people that are a pain. You have to detach from that for just a moment. So if you have moments of no pain, that's when you hit your intuition up and say, okay, now I need to ask my questions. So that works out really well. So did that help at all, Bernie? Or do you have a question?
No, I'm fine. I'm just trying to concentrate on what you're saying as opposed to what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, yeah. You bring up a very good point. So concentrate on something else. Like if you were, sometimes pain is legitimate, but if you distract yourself, like just what you said, concentrate on something else, like this pretty flower here, or something you can involve all your senses in. Distract yourself, and then you will get more of a calm mind and an intuition that comes in. So everybody, forget about your aches and pains. And you've heard of speed dating. We're going to do speed sensing. So you can, now writing down would take too long. So just go with me here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list off a bunch of things. Pay attention to how your body feels, how it shifts with each new thing. You might have varying degrees of positive feelings or negative feelings. Some will be like, oh no, and some will be like, that kind of sucks. So just pay attention to those. Some may be entirely neutral, and that's okay. I may get too fast or might get too slow for some people. So if you watch this on the replay, do it again, do it yourself, record some words, totally easy. So create whatever image of the vague things you'd like. But first, take a deep breath. Breathing's always good. It's certainly not overrated. That will bring you into a calmer space. These are things you may or may not have an emotional attachment to them, but I would say don't even get worked up. However, if they do cause any emotion in you, notice that. Okay, everybody ready? Everybody ready? Yeah. Looks like everybody's ready. Okay, so let's start. Deep breath. Okay, fuzzy socks. Fuzzy socks with a hole in them. Eggs. Adolf Hitler. Chocolate. COVID-19. Michael. Drinking raw eggs. Pizza. Walking on the beach. Petting a cat. Stepping on a nail. Winning the lottery. I'm going to end on that one. Okay, raise your hand if you felt shifts and differences between different things. Yeah, okay. See how fast your body can change how it feels, and see how immediately your brain processes it, and your body processes it. On that list, type in the chat, what was the best feeling for you? And what did it feel? Did you feel the best? And what did you get? Ah, the beach felt the best. Yes, the beach. Oh, beach people, beach people. Look at that. Chocolate? How about eating chocolate on a beach? Okay. Walking on the beach, walking on the beach. I think we all need a holiday down south somewhere. Right off the top, fuzzy socks. Love it. Socks, the beach. Okay, fuzzy socks and the beach for the win. Did you notice the shift between fuzzy socks and fuzzy socks with a hole in the toe? If you did, just put your thumb up. If not, it's okay. Okay. Was it subtle? Was it, if it was subtle, just do this. If it was a big deal, do this. So was it a subtle? It was a big, oh, okay. Some people really hate holes in their socks. So for the people that found that to be too big a deal, next time think of fuzzy socks and then one's inside out and there's a thread dangling around your toe. Like just little things, little annoying things. So who wants to do that? And what was the worst of the list and how did it make you feel? Kelsey says she could actually feel the hole in the sock. That's clairsentience. That's awesome. And if you could do that, that's great. So the worst one on the list, and how did it make you feel? Hitler, disgust, angry. Yep, Jocelyn, thank you. Bree, thank you. Ah, Grace, stepping on the nail wasn't comfortable. Of course. Bernie, Hitler, why not Trump? I did not want to cause a political problem here, but we can talk about that later. Nail in foot, hole in sock was the worst. Yeah, isn't it interesting? So when you want to practice this on your own and speed, because information comes in so fast these days, we need to react quickly in the best way possible for us and make the best decisions possible for us. So if you can create this activity for yourself or have a friend or family member write out a list of things, or go on my Facebook or my Instagram page. I do this all the time. You can do it quickly and you train your brain. So this workshop is not intended to make you magically and automatically intuitive. It's to give you a good jump start, to get you there, to learn how to trust your gut, your belly brain, they call it, and learn to trust your intuition, to learn how intuition sounds. So it's not going to be like, hey, take that job. It's going to be like, I kind of like that job. It's so subtle. So the more subtle things you can tune into, the better. Let's go back to the grocery store in our mind. You don't have to do it now, but when you're out at the grocery store next time, walk down, pick an aisle, or you could do it down every aisle. I tend to like the cookie aisle, but anyways, or you can walk down I don't know what they call it, but where there's an aisle where there's foods from different nations. So, and some, because we're not used to some types of things, maybe you strongly love curry or dislike curry, or you like sushi or dislike sushi. Walk down an aisle, instead of just shopping, look at the things and see how your body feels. Like tune in very quickly. It's like, oh, fig Newtons, oh, oh, chocolate chips, I feel better. So just pay attention to how your body changes in reaction to these subtle things. And I'm not telling you to use people, but when you walk by people, oh, well, I know 6 feet apart, but walk by them and see how you immediately feel. I know we're blocking them off, but see how they make you feel. Never say anything, please never say anything, but see how they make you feel without judging their looks or anything like that. I think we have some time. If anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and we will bring you up. And just, it doesn't have to be about what we talked about today. It could be about intuition. It could be about mediumship.
Or else, maybe I'll suggest too, if folks want to like virtually raise their hands or use the hand raise as well. Oh, Jennifer.
Okay.
So I have a question for you going back to the hole in the sock. So because I've had a hole in my sock and it was very painful and I was walking around with it, it affected how I felt. So is that a good thing or a bad thing that my past experience is coming in and affecting the way I feel?
No, that's perfectly fine, because that's what intuition is it's judging what is currently happening with your past experiences. Now, if you need to see a counselor about the hole in your sock, I'm kidding. So what you want to do, so you bring up a great point. So take that pain of the hole in the sock without actually having a hole in your sock and see if you can calm it down to neutral. So if we went through this list, we could, you know what, let's do this very quickly. Let's go through this list again. I'll just go through half of it, if that's okay, Julie. It'll be quick. Okay. And you bring up a good point, Jen, you gave me an idea. So we'll go through half the list, feel your immediate feeling, and then neutralize it. Acknowledge the pain of the hole in the sock, then bring it up to neutral. Acknowledge the comfy, cozy, fuzzy socks, but bring them back to nothing. You cannot enjoy it. You cannot hate it. Ready? We'll go through. We might be able to do the whole list. I'll start now. Fuzzy socks. Fuzzy socks with a hole in the big toe. Eggs. Adolf Hitler. Neutral, neutral. Chocolate. Neutralize it. COVID-19. No emotion. Michael. Drinking raw eggs. Pizza. Walking on the beach. Make that neutral. Feel nothing. Petting a dog or cat. Stepping on a nail. Put that pain away. Winning the lottery. Neutral. Was anybody able to do that? Were you able to neutralize at least some of them? Good, good, good. Perfect. So anytime you need to make a decision, talk to somebody about something you're worried about, you're getting nervous, call on that skill you can develop and neutralize it. So let's see, it was hard with Hitler. It is. So let me see. So the difference between intuition and judgment, criticism. Good question. Intuition, again, has no feeling, no emotion attached to it. It's very subtle and fleeting. Judgment, you'll notice your brain starts to spiral and there will be things attached to it like disgust, anger, maybe hurt, bringing up past experiences. So that's the difference. Deja vu is not intuition. So intuition is knowing something. Deja vu, has anybody ever had a deja vu? You know what deja vu is? You feel like you've done something before? Yeah, it's a super cool feeling. If you ask any scientist, they will say you're having a mini seizure. That's what they will say. Okay, that's fine. What I like to do, if you ever have a deja vu, try and usually we go, oh my gosh, I've done this before. Try not to react, but instead stay in the deja vu. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, say what happens next, and see if your brain can predict the next step in the deja vu. It does take practice, but it really will work. So intuition is very subtle. Deja vu feels like intuition. It feels like you're predicting something, but it's a repetitive thing. Intuition is a new thing. So can your intuition sometimes prevent you from taking risks or stepping out of your comfort zone? That would be more anxiety, but your intuition will take things based on your past experiences. So if you're talking about risks or stepping out of your comfort zone, your intuition will want you to do what's right for you, what gives you purpose and makes you happy. So if it's preventing you from doing that, then you've got to step back and say, okay, very neutral, very calm. Why? What's going on? So can it? Sure, because it knows what's best for you. So keep that in mind. COVID still got you. I love the glitches in the matrix. Okay. So Kelsey says, I've had really strong gut feelings before in some situations where it just feels wrong. Has anybody else had that situation? Just feels wrong or uncomfortable. And I feel a definite emotion tied to it. Yeah. How are those kinds of gut feelings different from intuition? They are intuition. So she says, or are they? Those kinds of feelings are intuition. If you walk into a scenario, an event, a room full of people, everybody's having a good time, but you think it just feels wrong, then you know what? It's wrong for you. So then you say to your intuition, so now what do I do? You can go back to grade 4 when they taught you the who, what, where, when, why, and how, and always very calmly say to your intuition, now what do I do? My thing is to elevate your intuition. So you get the intuitive thought, elevate it. What do I do now? Who do I talk to? What is going on? So you got to take it to the next level, and then you get more information. I usually say, how can I make this the best for me? How can this turn out the best for me? And you might get some bizarre answers, but trust them. So Bernie asks, what about having a sense of foreboding? So that's a good one because a lot of people get that. So first you take that sense and then you elevate it. First ask, is this my own anxiety or is it intuition? And see if it's going like, oh my God, I don't know. Then it's your anxiety. If you're getting a sense of foreboding, take a step back, take a deep breath, elevate it. What is this about? Give me more details. How can I change this for the better? So ask your intuition elevation questions. So let me see. Okay, Victoria, you said, or literal predictions. Yeah, predicting, you kind of, you give me the idea. Predicting things is hard because the future is not set in stone. There is nothing set in stone. So we only have a few more minutes left, but before we get kicked out, please know that you're born and you die. Those are set in stone. How you get from birth to death is your choice. You're choosing. If you choose option A, these things open up. If you choose option B, these things open up. So nothing is set in stone. And that's why I always trust your gut, trust your intuition. It will know how to take you from A to B in the best way possible for you. And hopefully your intuition wants it the best for you and wants to cause the least damage around you. So it's not like trudging through your life, I'm going to take over the world. No, because being part of your intuition wants to spread, we get all hippy dippy rainbows and unicorns. Be kind and spread kindness and joy and happiness If you're having a bad day and you can't get into your intuition because you're having a crappy day, please go do something nice for someone else. And whether it's just smiling at somebody, paying for the coffee of the person behind you, whatever it is, picking up somebody's newspaper off the end of their lawn, just do one little thing nice and watch how your mood elevates. And it's not like you're overjoyed and hugely patting yourself on the back, but that little elevation will help you get in tune with your intuition a little more. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left if anyone else wants to raise their hand or do it in the chat. If not,
and if you do, go on my website, lynnnichols.com, go on my Facebook page, Lynn Nicholls Intuition Expert, or on Instagram, Lynn_Nicholls. I think they're all on the NLSW site somewhere, or just type in Lynn Nicholls somewhere. I'll pop up, hopefully not at your window, because that would be creepy. And you are more than welcome to ask there, because I do understand that sometimes you don't want to ask things when you're in a public forum. So you're more than welcome. Just let me know you were here. You can even text my cell, and my cell number is all over my Facebook and Instagram page. Just let me know your name and you were at this workshop, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions in private. And so I hope your takeaway from this is to create a better life for yourself by trusting yourself and going back to trusting the gut instincts you were born with. Try these things again. Jump on my Facebook or Instagram, because there's like tons of free intuition elevation activities. And then we have fun and you have to listen to my nonsense. But I want to thank Julie for moderating this session, and to the Niagara Leadership Summit for Women for having me, because it's been a wonderful experience and I've enjoyed meeting you all. And I wish you to have the best 2.5 more months of 2020. I hope the finale is grand and not more of 2020. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here with me.
thank you, Lynn. That was really, gave me a lot to
You're
think
welcome.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for the resources as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And as Lynn mentioned, you can find all her contact information on our Event Mobi platform, as well as the last few sessions that we have for today, including the next at 2:00, Mastering the Art of Rebooting and Bouncing Back, and our closing ceremonies at 4:00. It's great to see so many of you continuing in the chat, and look forward to seeing you at our next sessions. Thanks, Lynn. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.